Good evening everybody. Today I am going to explain you the concept of object oriented programming using C++. Before going to that, what is mean by OOPS? Normally we say object oriented programming. What is the use of that? Already we learned the C language in order to develop the applications or any type of softwares. But what is the advantage we have with the OOPS concept? Now C++ we combine C with the OOPS concept, then that becomes the C++. That is, these OOPS concepts has major features like inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation and the polymorphism. So these features explains the software neatly with the high resolution, with the high speed fast software development with the help of these features. So every software program must and should follow the features of the OOPS concepts. Now before entering to that, after entering into this concept, we'll discuss what is inheritance, what is encapsulation, what is abstraction, what is the polymorphism. Now we see some introduction. We will learn about the basics of OOPS, that is inheritance, data binding and the polymorphisms and etc. Now first concept we consider as object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and encapsulation. Now first thing we discuss as a object. Now as the physics students knows that what is mean by object, every entity in the real world which occupies some space we call it as a object. That is, as we shown here examples as pen, chair, table, etc. Everything we treat as a object. In this object oriented programming methodology, design a program using classes and objects. It simplifies the software development and maintenance by providing some concepts like objects, classes, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and the encapsulation. Now first term is what is mean by object. As we now discussed, everything in the real world we call it as a object. That is chair, pen, table, keyboard, bike, mouse, everything that can be object can be a physical and the logical. The next term is class. Now class is nothing but a collection of objects. It is a logical entity. Now as usually all the students sit in a class. We are calling that as a class. Why we are calling that as a class here? Now that means every student has a feature of learning something concepts from the lecturers at the same time. That means every student has a feature, common feature, that is learning from the lectures is called as a object. Student is a object. The group of students is a class. Why? Because all the group of the students have some common feature. Now in programmatically, a class has data members and member functions. We can also call class as a collection of data members and member functions also. Now this is a syntax of defining a class in C++. Class, class name, data members, that means member functions. Example, class student, integer number, character, name. Now the next concept is inheritance. Now inheritance is nothing but what? One class, data members and member functions gets copied to another class. Example, children have features of their parents. Example, parents class has some features and that features gets inherited to child class. Now it's suppose the code reusability. For example, our parents have features, so those features gets inherited to child, and child also has a own features and some features of their parents. That means here is what? A class is there and some other class is there. So first class we call it as a parent class and the second class we call it as a child class. Parent class has some features, child class has some features. So child class has the features of its parent class as well as its own class. That means class child has two features, their parent features and their own features. So this is a major thing in the OOPS concept. Why? Because every software development needs some common code in all functionalities. For example, in some calculators we do the addition, in scientific calculator also we do the addition, in mobiles also we do the addition. Now here addition function will be helpful in many machines. So here addition gets inherited to some machines also. For example, system is there. In system we do the calculations of addition, subtraction, taking numbers, making operation either addition or subtraction. So getting number is a function, getting two numbers. For example, I want to do addition 10 plus 20. Now we use a function called addition. We use some other function, get numbers 10 and 20. We do the subtraction. Now that means getting two numbers is a function that will be used in addition as well as in subtraction. This will be reduce the code. That means taking two numbers two times, instead of taking two times we take only one time. That is for addition and subtraction also. This is inheritance. The next concept is, this is a syntax of the inheritance. Class A and the class B. So this declaration will be valid in the C++ only. So this syntax will be valid for different languages. Now the next thing is polymorphism. Polymorphism is nothing but, in normally poly means many, morphism means forms. Being one thing acts as a different forms. For example, here one person acts as a student in one college, with her friend act as a friend, for their parents act as a son or daughter. That means being one thing acts different at different situations. Similarly, in the programming also, one function acts as an addition for two numbers or for three numbers or for four numbers. According to the functionality, it will perform the action that will be called as a polymorphism. Now here polymorphism of two types. One is static polymorphism, the other is the runtime polymorphism. The next thing is called as a abstraction. Abstraction is nothing but hiding the data. That means whatever the data is needed to the user, end user, only that will be provided to the user. Remaining internal part of the logic of the program will not be explained to the user or client. For example, I am driving a car. I know just how to drive the car. That is external behavior. But what is the internal behavior? How the fuel is filled, in what formula the car will be run, is nothing. Everything will be hidden from the user. Only how to drive a car will be explained by the client. That means only client drives the car, but how it works he doesn't know. That's the concept of abstraction. Then last most thing is the encapsulation. Encapsulation is nothing but binding the data members and the member functions together in a class is called as the encapsulation. Now in the real world example we have seen capsules. That means if you take any medicines, that combines the two formulas of medicines in a one capsule, so that will be helpful to our health. So, and this is the last feature of the OOPS. OOPS does not have only these many features, it also has many features, but these are the most useful features which are supported by all the programming concepts like C++, Java and .NET and etc. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel so that you will get the latest updates. Thank you for watching.